Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. So today I just wanted to have a real quick talk about the way that I view life, or life cycles as a whole, and how this is applicable to your blacksmithing business, or just you as a person in general. It's applicable to all of us, and this about every single human being on the face of this earth. So hopefully these words will be a word of encouragement for you today. So I've been working quite steadily on a whole bunch of different projects. I've got a little hammer here. I've got some tongs I've been working on for some YouTube videos. I'm listening to some Evan Carmichael. I'll put a link to his channel in the description down below. If you haven't seen Evan Carmichael, he does a lot of like encouragement type videos and things like that. Kind of something similar to what I'm doing for you now here in the blacksmithing side of things. But let's get right into the nitty-gritty of it. So I look at life in essentially three parts. You essentially get three parts of your life, or thirds if you will. For your first 30 years, you know, you're off to the races to try to grow, try to be something, try to have everybody respect you, to be the oldest, to be the smartest, the wisest, or self-wise if you will. You know, you're always trying to succeed at something, you're trying to grow something, you're trying to do something with yourself, figuring yourself out for that first 30 years, and that's where I'm coming to a close at. I will be 30 this year as of the recording of this video, which this is, I believe, 2018, and it's April, somewhere mid-April 2018. So I'll be turning 30 in October. October 17th is my birthday. For, you know, anybody who cares about that sort of thing. But I look at things of like a third of my life has now passed. And you say, well, Roy, that sounds kind of morbid. And it kind of is if you think about it. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not guaranteed our next steps, or the next week, the next month, the next year. You never know when you might be handed down a horrible prognosis like a cancer, or I mean, just anything really. There's a lot of other horrible diseases out there besides cancer. But that's kind of a prevalent one, especially in today's modern world. And so you never know when you're going to be handed down something and somebody says, hey, you got like a year to live. Or you might just walk out in front of a bus tomorrow and get nailed, you know, like one of those sort of things. So if you look at it and say you do get the true blessing and the honor that it is to be able to have 90 years or 90 plus years on this earth, but I look at it about 90 years, okay? Say you get fortunate enough that you live to be a 90-year-old man or woman. Then you can break it down very easily. I'm a third of the way there. So a third of my life is gone. So that brings into the second third, that second 30 years, which you start focusing, and this is from my observation, I haven't got there yet, but you start focusing, as I have seen people do, focusing more on the things that matter in life more, like children, grandchildren when you're at the further end of that spectrum, you know, security, things of that nature. You really start to focus and start looking introspectively and not so much caring about what other people think about you, things like that. And then after that, you get between that, you know, that 60 plus group. From 60 to 90, chances are you've been there, done that, and you're starting to think every year and every month after that about that eventual day when you are no longer with us. And that, unfortunately, is the path of every human being. It does, however, that shortness of life, these, you know, if you break it up into thirds and these cycles of life, it brings a beauty to life. It brings an urgency. It brings a sense of preciousness to it, and it's something that should always be respected out of every single human being on the face of this planet. But how do we apply this to our business, and how do we apply this to blacksmithing or hobby or anything like that? A lot of what you see out there, and this is very unfortunate, that you see in blacksmithing forums and groups and things like that, is a lot of negativity. Life is too short to be so negative all the time. You know, do you really want to waste a third of your life fighting for whatever reason, your political standpoint, your religious standpoint, your you know, just your general views. You know, maybe you believe the toilet paper roll should unroll from the bottom versus over the top, you know, and you just make it a whole point about this to, you know, be the biggest believer in that for 30 years of your life, just to kind of come to find out when you're an old man and you're on your deathbed, or an old woman and you're on your deathbed, none of that mattered. None of that mattered at all. And I say it, I've said it once, and I've said it time and time again. And if you're still watching this video, this is something you really need to pay attention to. It is not the items, the things, the places, the car, the house, the boat, the yacht, all the fancy things that you can look for in the world, all the negative, all the fights, all the political stances, all those sort of things. It's not those that you will care about, and it's not those that matter when you leave this world. When you leave this world, no matter what your viewpoint is on that, it's the end ticket. It's the end ticket, it's the end of the road on this rock, and the only thing that will matter at that point of time is the people that you left behind. The people that will remember you. In blacksmithing, we use this with our ironwork. We try to leave a piece of ourselves with each piece of ironwork we create and do our best job. But ultimately, eventually you may be 90 and you can't smith anymore. And then, you know, it's that work. It's all that quality of work and effort that you put in over the last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, that will be left behind. And so that's more important. So if you're not making meaningful things today, and you're just kind of bebopping through life, not doing a whole heck of a lot, maybe you're lost where you want to go, it would be my encouragement to you to start living life. Whatever that may look like, whether that's, you know, conducive to anybody else or not, start living life on your own terms, because we only take and get, in my opinion, 3 spins around on this big old rock that we live on. And those 3 spins were meant, those 3 chances were meant to touch somebody else, to have an impact, and to have a voice to those people, and to build bridges and build relationships and build people up versus tear them down. So I hope this video was encouraging. If it was, make sure to give you a like button. You can check out any of the videos that should be coming on screen now, and check those out. And let me know what you thought of this video in the comment section down below. As always, I greatly appreciate hearing from you. Thank you all for watching. God bless, and we'll catch you on the next one.